take a second.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Intab Campus Care presents Panel Discussion. Panel discussion is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. A topic for the day is implementing technology in education for better learning outcomes. And for the same, we have with us Mrs. Ruchi Gupta, ma'am, Principal of New Rainbow Public School, Pratap Vihar. A very warm welcome, ma'am. Then we have Mrs. Anita Gupta, ma'am, Principal of Raman Munjal Vidya Mandir School, Gurugram. A very warm welcome, Anita, ma'am.
Thank you, Mehak, and good evening to all the members of the family.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And last but not the least, we have with us Miss Sheba Thapar, ma'am, founder and director of Sacred Steps Experiential Learning School. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Mehak. It's always a pleasure to be a part of the NTAP group. And it's such a pleasure with the renowned personalities that we have today. Thank you so much, Mehak, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, Ruchi, ma'am, over to you. We know that technology has transformed the way we learn and we teach. So earlier we had, for example, earlier we were just, learning through blackboards and textbooks. So it has transformed the way we are learning and teaching also. So how can you think that schools can effectively integrate technology in the teaching and learning process as well as so they can, improve the student learning outcomes?
First of all, good evening, everyone, and I'm thankful for giving me this platform to share my views on the very latest topic that we're dealing with these days. So, when we talk about technology, so I would like to say that technology is omnipresent. So, it is all over the place. So, we as educators cannot deny or cannot shy away from this. So, it is the most important aspect of today's education. And as far as integration of technology with education is concerned, it is very important and the mandate. But when we say technology is not always something very big, something rocket science, which we feel is very difficult to integrate. No, it is not. So when we say integrating of technology, we can start with integrating small videos of phonic sounds, maybe for the primary graders. That is also technology. Our teachers can make small PowerPoint presentations to showcase and explain their subject. That is also a technology. Our elder children, secondary or senior secondary children can use Google Drive, some high-tech technology platforms to study. That is also technology. So integrating technology in schools are very important, and it definitely helps children to upscale a lot. So, but when I say technology, I say that it's not a sprint. It is definitely a marathon. So we have to start walking before we start running. So it is important, but it is very much doable and it is very important, is what my take on this topic. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Uh, Shiba, ma'am, would you like to add something to Anita, ma'am?
To Ruchina.
Sorry, to Ruchi, ma'am. And Anita, ma'am, would you like to add something to her too?
Yeah, sure. Let Shiba ma'am share and then I would like to comment upon. Yeah, Shiba. Shivaji, you are on mute.
Sure, thank you so much, ma'am. Well, I feel that, these children who are coming to us, they have been, when we talk about nursery and the KG children, they've been into a lockdown zone and now they are coming to a school. They don't know what a school is like. I mean, to them, when we started, this online platform of learning, it was all virtual. So I think they were the first ones that the computer was the first thing that they were exploring, and they didn't know what the school is like. For them, the opening of the laptop was a school to them. So I think this generation also, when we see, they are knowing it all. What our generation used to see, we used to have a chalk and talk methodology when we were in school. But these youngsters, they are much ahead of our generation when we talk about the technology. So I think it is very much important that we transact the way that they learn. And for that, I would like to add that, the normal book and talk methodology won't suit them. And they will not also be listening because they have a lot of questions to ask and they have a lot of means to explore. What a teacher knows today, our children know even more than that, and they come with a question which, the teacher has to Google it out and then, get the answers to them. So what I feel is technology with times we have to go ahead. And of course, with the current generation, they are too much advanced to be in a classroom and opening up their books. They would be wanting to explore more of experiential ways to learn. They will be open to technology. They'll be more open to coding and the gaming zone. And the STEAM is what the new, with the NEP also, the STEAM learning is coming up, wherein the technology is an integral part of education. So I feel that yes, technology has a major role to play when we talk about the future generation and when we are talking about the 21st century skills that our learners should have. Over to Anita, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Shiba. And moving forward, what Ruchi and Shiba had shared. So, I would like to emphasize upon the fact, and that is student, because whenever anything, everything is about student centered thing. So we have to see that technology is going to stay with us. So we have to integrate it in such a manner that what objective is of our education that is fulfilled. So that is the effective use of technology. And that's what we are talking about also. So to have that effective learning outcome, so integration of technology would have to be actually, which we have already seen during pandemic, that it should give the interactive learning environment. It is not one sided like the earlier times where it was the teacher standing on one side of the table and sharing and the students listening. And that is what technology is actually adding to. Then we have to see that how the students be given the personalized instruction to make it more effective, because like in the real classroom scenario, of course immediately personally the teacher can go and help. So here it's a classroom scenario, whether physical or offline, online or hybrid, any mode. So we have to see to that that technology has to be integrated to give that personal touch, because which is very important to make it more effective. Then it should help it should help the process in assessing the progress of the child. And actually this is helping, already has started helping us a lot, but it is more important to integrate it in such a manner that we get to know on daily basis the student progress. It's just not the teacher and the other admin part, but also the parents and student themselves get the feedback in real time. It's so important. So then when we are leveraging with the technology, of course schools are going to ensure that the students are getting the best possible educational experiences. And all these things can be achieved if we start on a journey with technology, and that is inquiry based. Like Shiba had mentioned about 21st century skills. So it is about inquiry, right? Because students have a lot of exposure, they have a lot of information around. So they have a lot of queries, and which we as the educators have to address to, and definitely we can take help of any kind of technology, but it has to be seen that it has to be inquiry based learning, and the students are given exposure about experiments, about projects, about research. Means such kind of things have become now more convenient with the technology, integration of the technology. So and the practical activities can be given where the students can do just not the individual task, even the group task can be done. So technology's integration is catering to all the four C's of the 21st century, and that is everyone knows about it. That is collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and communication. And thus, engaging the students into all such kind of parameters and activities with the help of technology and what we already have, we are definitely going to improve, because there are so many other things students love the sports field, right? So now they have the gamified learning. There are so many apps now, digital field trips which we have already started, like during the COVID time. So this can be made an integral part on daily basis. Then of course, so we all are on social media, integrate it with the learning, bring the focus at what is going to be the outcome of that, just not for the sake of having the social media. Then we have to see to that how we are creating the digital content, how it has to be taken, and then how it is to be understood and it is going to be assessed. Means it has to be the calendar wise thing, it has to be properly thought over and reviewed. So if we are able to do that, of course, then Google Classroom, editing services, but like admin and like Antab and so many other, they are definitely coming forward to help us out in the same field. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anita ma'am. Ruchi ma'am, over to you. We all know that we have a range of tools now and resources that you can help the students and the teachers deliver engaging and interactive lessons for the learning outcome, for better learning outcome. So what are some of the practices in your opinion for selecting and implementing those solutions, those technology solutions in school, ma'am?
Okay, I think the first and foremost criteria for selection or implementing technology should be that whatever technology you're going to have in your school, whatever tech program that you're going to have in school, that should match with your achievement and improvement plan. So year, every school forms their learning plan, and they form their achievement plan and the improvement plan, where they say that what my child is going to learn in this year, what is my achievement plan, and how they're going to improve. So that should match with your EdTech program or the technology program. Should definitely match with the learning goals that you have set for your school and for your students. That should be your first criteria for selecting any technology. Then of course it should be very easy to use. When we say easy to use, because when it comes to technology, more than the students, like Shiva ma'am has shared, that students are way ahead of us. So basically, we are the learners when we say. So when we are trying to adapt any technology in the school, our teachers should be completely trained before they get into the classrooms and start teaching. So when I say it should be easy to use, by that I mean that there should be a less time of onboard training. When I say less time of classroom training, and it should be user friendly. So when my teacher gets onto the tool or to the app, she should be able to use it wisely, map by herself. And of course, then there are, I'm sure, all these tools, all the organizations are providing trainings. We, as an educator, we have a set of training teams in house in these schools, so we help. Our IT team helps our teachers, but it should be easy to use. That personally, I feel that that should be the second criteria for selecting any technology for your school. Then it should be accessible to all. When I say accessible, it should be accessible to me as the head of the school. It should be accessible, of course, to my teachers, to my students, and definitely to their parents. So all of us should be on the same platform when we are talking about the technology. And when I say that, it should be data-driven technology. So if I'm using some kind of technology, it should give me the immediate output. So I have to see whether it is giving me the data feedback or not. So for example, if my teacher is doing certain kind of assessment in the school, so it should be able to give me the immediate results, and immediately those results should be presented or should be reachable to my parents and my students. so that all of us are on the same page. So they are also able to see where their child is, how progressive, how what the performance of the child is, and how well the school is contributing to the performance of the child. And we should be able to share the learning curves of the child through the same platform. So I think that should be the one. Then your tool or technology or the edtech that you're going to use should be applicable to all the subject areas. So personally, I want to go and select something, so I should have, like ma'am mentioned, that we have field trips. So for example, if I want to select something for social science, so I should have historical field trips available on the platform. I should have maps of global presence where my children can see what it is and where it is. If I go to a science side, so I should have the virtual labs available where before going to the lab, my children can see and do the practical or the experiment virtually so that it becomes more easier for them once they enter the actual real lab. So few things, of course, we have to do in real, but technology should help us do that a little better. So when it comes to math, it should have a, like we're talking about the gamified session. So it should now today we are seeing that there are a lot of games available where children are learning math through the games. So they are playing the games in turn, they are learning their numbers. So it should have related something to science, and they should have language labs available. So they should have a Hindi, English, or any other language if we have. So that should also be available on that. Then maybe something related to art. We should have a current affairs, general knowledge. So all the subjects, all the areas should be covered more or less when we are moving towards the selection of the technology. Then it should be very easy to integrate with my curriculum. It is similar to when I say should match with my learning goals. So it should be easy to integrate when I say, so there is a lot of integration time should not get into that. So it should match with my curriculum, my expectations. So that should be my uh, first preference. So this is basically what I'm actually looking at when I'm trying to adopt any technology in the school. And this is what I would like to see while selecting any technology or integrating the technology solution in the school. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Shiva ma'am, when we are speaking of technology, the educators, the teachers have a hard time using technology. For example, let it be social media. Most of us are on social media for the sake of being on social media because we never grew up using that actually. So, in your opinion, how can the schools, how can we ourselves can train the educators so that they can implement the technology for learning for better learning outcomes when it comes to student learning, ma'am?
It's a very important question because here we are talking about technology, and I feel that educator, the person who's transacting a lesson and using the technology, plays a major role. I think it's not only limited. It should not be limited only to the teachers. It should also be the parents need to also be involved in that because here we are talking about a stakeholder when we are talking about a school. So it's a child, it's a teacher, and it's the parent that we are dealing with. Now, for example, now we are talking about a curriculum, a specific curriculum where we have to transact a lesson through the technology. So of course, a teacher's role play a major, significance here, and we need to regularly train the teachers. I think I should move on to 21st of March 2019 when we started with the COVID, and I think in one night every school had to incorporate technology while they were, the school was in the lockdown zone, and all our teachers were ready. So it took us time to, manage the Zoom. I think most of the schools were on Zoom and Microsoft Teams, where the teachers used to get trained. In our school when I was there, we used to have day and night, and after classes we used to discover new things. And all teachers were so much open that they used to learn from the children itself. So I think open to learning when we're talking about technology, everybody should be open to learning, be it a school head, be it a teacher, be it a parent. So I feel that one should be open to learning in that. And when we are talking about technology, PTMs. When we talk about, the PTMs were also been planned in an online mode, where the parents were also been educated in few of the schools that, they used to, a specific time frame is given to them. So I feel that yes, teachers play a very important role because they are there. Technology is there in all schools. Here we are mapping the curriculum. The teachers are the ones who are planning the PowerPoints in few of the schools. They are the ones who are, preparing the lesson plans when we talk about an IT-based school. And of course, it should be user friendly, as ma'am just rightly said. Ruchi ma'am had just said that it should be user friendly. It should not be so complicated. So we need to tell them from basics and then move on to the next part. So I think for teachers, I think every school now is all teachers have had a grip of the technology, how to use it, and everybody is doing it. But yes, it should be also a limitation which is there, because when we talk to parents and when we used to feel that their eyes are suffering, and even the teachers for that sake, so that has to be a limited kind of a time frame that we need to also map. That is also very important when we talk about teaching the teachers, because now mobiles, the WhatsApps, everything is, the teachers are totally hooked on to these different virtual platforms. So I think we need to also have it that we have a limitation in using technology. That is a new point that I'd like to add. And all schools should also feel that yes, we are also dealing with humans, and their health is also very important for them. That's all what I have to add. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shiva ma'am. Moving forward, Anita ma'am, Shiva ma'am was just mentioning the limitations of technology, using technology in student, better learning student outcomes, ma'am. So, according to you, how can we evaluate this impact of technology? Because for sure there would be some, bad effects also. How can we evaluate that impact of technology on student learning outcomes, ma'am?
Rightly said by my fellow panelists, every coin has two sides. So everything has a flip side. So of course, technology is there, and it has handled the situation very well, or it has made us handle the situation very well during pandemic in from 2020 to 2021, and now also, and now it has become a part and parcel of our existence. But as we are talking about technology, it is going to stay with us. We all are aware of. So we have to be careful that its impact has to be positive. It has many nuances. Like we are always worried about how our personal data going to be used. Like I'm not talking of cyber safety in different terms or photo, but here it is personal data, maybe photos and everything. Then academic data. I'm talking from the school or admin perspective. Then health data, parent data. Like how, because when we are talking about technology, we are hiring it from a third party. It's not that we have the inbuilt system and we have invented it, and like we are using by different means. So when we are taking all such kind of things, when we have taken this step of adopting technology as an integral part, then we have to be very careful that its impact on students learning, because basic, as I earlier mentioned, the center is student. So we have to see the students outcome, learning outcome should have the positive results, because this is an education system and it's going to grow in with the help of technology. The students are going to be away from the smaller premises of the school, where the teachers are like the parents, where they are like pampered, taken care of, right? So we have to teach them that when they are going to be in the vast world on their own, or even now also when nobody is there to see them and they are using technology, how they are going to see to that what they are learning out of it, whether it is going to be future friendly and is going to make them future ready or not. Because if that is not the help given by the technology, it means they have to rethink and reinvent now what technology is going to help them. And as the guide, as the mentors, it becomes our responsibility that we have to see that technology has to effect in a positive manner and has to make everyone evaluate all the stakeholders, including the parents, as has been rightly mentioned, that that it should have the positive impact and it should improve their general efficiencies, whether in terms of the progress report card or whether in terms of the communication at personal level, whether they have to debate about it or whether they have to be part of any panel discussion like us. Okay, so they should have those kind of ideas, those kind of thoughts, because otherwise they are going to be limited to whatever, and now the world is limitless. So, and they are the global citizens now, they are not just limited to one part. So we have to see that this technology should help them in becoming that global citizen where they have not only to progress and achieve, but they have to sustain. Because the thing is, climbing the mountain is not that difficult as sustaining ourselves, standing over there and then going down and seeing what is there. Like, because then that needs more stamina, the more you can say the boldness, because it's not easy to see into the depth. It's still easy to see higher, we can still enjoy watching the sky and the birds flying in it, but when we see deeper in from a very height, you can say, something happens and we feel like we should not fall. So we have to be very careful that none of us are going to fail, and technology should not fail any one of us in giving the positive impact and bringing the positive outcome in the lives of each one of us, and especially the students, because who are going to be on their own in the term. So in this way, what we can do is we should like include surveys, interviews, focus groups, and we must do the data analysis. And by taking in account all the quantitative and qualitative evidences, schools can definitely can get better understanding of the students and how the technology is helping us. This I did during the COVID time. I made the Ivy League student from US to do the survey for my students and parents. So they shared, and we got very beautiful results out of it. So it's very important because now technology has brought us so much together that we can like go and extend our day-to-day learning and day-to-day education system. So having such kind of information with the help of the evidences about the students' academic performance as well as their overall development, or if they have some more specific or unique talents, then this information in hand, schools can definitely make the informed decisions and can help the parents making the informed decision, because technology definitely is going to be most effective in this manner. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Anita, ma'am. Shiba, ma'am, and Ruchi, ma'am, would you like to add something to ma'am?
So I think I'd like to just add that yes, NTAB has given a very good platform for everybody to meet, and this all because of the technology that we are sitting here, and something that came all of a sudden, but then it has become a part and parcel of everybody's life now. I think Zoom meetings, even in corporates, when we talk about, it's a major role to play. People are working from home. We never thought that we could have had the annual functions using the technology. Even the classes like the sports classes have been held like using the technology, the PTMs, parents connections. Even now it's been incorporated. Now also we've kind of, if the parents, they don't turn up for the PTM, we can use technology to be meeting our parents. So I think it has played a major role to play, and going forward it would definitely um, be playing a major role in our lives, because now we have all have adapted to stay with it, and it will go with us in future too. And of course, our children will be mastering the skills. What we have learned, it would be moving ahead with times. Because as we go towards the 21st century skills, which is majorly required, and our children have already learned. We were the generation who learned it when we are right now in their our 40s, but our children have learned when they were in 3 years and 4 years. So I really wonder what they would turn up when they come to the age that we are in right now. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ruchi, ma'am, would you like to add something to ma'am? Ma'am, you're on mute actually.
I'm so sorry. I think most of it is what we have discussed, but a very sensitive topic that I would like to touch upon, and I'll just take 10 seconds of it, is data privacy. So, when we talk about technology, we are using it, of course, and it is necessary and it is very important. And when we are using it in schools and when students are using it, so there is very less awareness and very less importance we give to this. But in the student life also, data privacy is very important, and there's a lot of data thefts, identity thefts. There's a lot of things happening with the use of technology at the student level also. So I think there is a lot of awareness that needs to be created around it in schools, to the teachers, to the students, and most important, to the parents. Because of course, as teachers are the conscious keepers, parents are also the conscious keepers at home. So there should be, when we say there should be training sessions for the technology, there should definitely be a training session to create awareness around this sensitive issue. So I think data privacy is very important. Data security is very important. We should talk about it in schools with our students in the classrooms, and we should make them aware how we can protect them and how they should safeguard their data and use the technology in a very safe manner. And I think when it comes to technology usage in the education field, it is very important. It is the need of an hour. We cannot do without it. So I think we should just plan, implement, and assess. That's the only thing we should do. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ruchi ma'am. Thank you so much, Shiva ma'am. And thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for being here today. It was lovely having you here and listening to your experiences and viewpoints, ma'am.
So Mehak, can I convey the last
Sure, ma'am.
part of
Please go
it?
ahead.
See, technology seems to be free around, right? So I just want to convey this message to each child, or you can say each one of us, that free isn't free. And because there are lots of issues with the free tools, so students must learn, like the air seems to be free, but we have to take care of it. Otherwise the pollution is going to enter, and then the life is going to become very difficult. Thank you, Antap, for giving such a beautiful opportunity once again to convey our thoughts and to discuss with the eminent panelist. And thank you, Mahek.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Shiba ma'am. Thank you so much, Ruchi ma'am.
Thank you. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And for
Thank
all the
you. Thank you
viewers
for giving me
watching
the
us out, do not forget to subscribe to us for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.